Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece episode 960. So within this episode we finally start the legit the legit Oden flashback, and I say legit because there has been little bits of sprinkles of an Oden flashback within the one so far. Some of it canon, some of it not canon, and so that's why I say legit. But before we actually get the Oden flashback within this episode, we have a bits of pieces within present day. Well, kind of present, more present day than the flashback is obviously, and then we hop into things. So first things off, we start off with Orochi. We basically see him playing Bomberman, as I'm gonna call him, because we see how he ordered his men over to certain parts of Wano and essentially asked them to bomb them. And now these places were certain bridges, and also where the sunny was. So the bridges was because he was destroying the connection to certain areas of Wano, so they can't get to the port that they said they're gonna deploy from, and Sunny had to go. Sunny had to go. So we see that happen, that go down as well. So that was a little bit of the episode, and then after that we basically see the scabbards, and it's basically in this moment where we have Momo saying like yo, like this it's a bus, today's not gonna go down well, we need to rethink this, regroup, redecide on another day, and then strike then. And then this basically, after that we have Kinemon just tell us, the audience, and Momo as well, like no, if it's not today we have to wait a year. We can't, and he also goes on to say like we can't wait a year. It has to be today, otherwise we'll be discovered, and then just all the basically all the sacrifices that have been made up until now would be pointless. It has to be today. And we end off the present day stuff with the scabbards walking towards this little ship that they're gonna try and use to get to Onigashima, and we leave it there with Momo crying, with Shinobu just basically trying to hold them back because Momo's like, no, like, I don't want you guys to sacrifice your lives. I want you to do what I want to do. And I really like this bit of the episode because they made it black and white. I don't know, it just had more feels in black and white than not being in colour. I don't know why that is. Maybe you can tell me. And let me know if you felt the same way about that as well. So after that, after the present day stuff, we jump into the Oden flashback. And now with this episode, basically what the Oden flashback is covering is the meeting of Oden, Kinemon, and Denjiro. So we meet Denjiro, we meet Kinemon, we see a little bit of his life before, obviously meeting Oden, but the most impressive thing for this episode is Oden's rap sheet. So there's a bit of the episode where we have a little bit of Oden fanboy within One Piece, and he's just basically reading out his rap sheet and all the things that he has done up until now. And it's clearly obvious, you can see that he's an impressive lad, impressive man, which way you want to call him. And we also see recent day feats as well, and I'm talking about the funeral scene now when he was sitting in the grave, eating his food, had a drink, and then paid his respects. Well, technically the whole thing was him paying his respects, but in the episode, Oden is portrayed as a guy who seemingly does the right thing, but something goes wrong, or vice versa, kind of, because at the beginning, when you see Oden eating the food on the grave, it's seen as a bit of a sign of disrespect. But when you realize this is just his way of paying respects, you're like, oh, okay, I can understand where he's coming from. Maybe he shouldn't have done it that way, but I can understand where he's coming from. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I got to say about this episode. It heavily introduces Oden. Obviously it should do Oden flashback, and we find out all about him. One thing I find funny though is that he's done all of these things. He's got this impressive rap sheet, but yet when it comes to leaving, because we find out that he feels restricted where he is, that he wants to go and explore the world, and like I'm saying, he's got this heavy rap sheet, but when it comes to doing something like leaving the country, he struggles with that. He's tried many times and he has failed on all of them. So that's quite funny. What was I saying? Yeah, the episode introduces Wano. Oden heavily, and Kinemon beforehand, Denjiro as well. And now this flashback is going to be long. We're in for a long flashback, but it is a good flashback. And just based on what they've been doing with the anime adaptation of Wano, adding things here and there, it is likely that they will add things to this flashback, and it probably will be good-ish. I don't want to swear. So I am looking forward to seeing what they do with it within the anime, especially if they're going to add more stuff, which will be good, and not like stretched out, like come across stretched out, at least to me anyway. So yeah, I'm looking forward to things. I'll think about the rating. Now, is it fair to give it a... No, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to stick to the average of a 3-star rating. I think it was a good episode. Like I've said, I'm like that moment with the black and white scene. It does introduce Oden very, very well, as it did within the manga as well, but I don't think anything happened in the episode that warrants it more than a 3-star rating. So like always guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care, have a nice day.